Hello again. This is On the Ground. I am your host, Shannon. Okay, so on this episode, we're going to go over, before I have to go to work, some information about coyotes. I've been doing a little bit of research on it. Since I ain't really hunted coyotes, I need refreshed on some things and get familiar with it. And so I've been looking into, coyote behavior, how bad coyotes are as far as like them becoming a threat to livestock and deer population, and just, how bad are coyotes, Okay, so there's like 19, or it says right here 38. So, okay, let me go up. 38 different types of coyotes. Okay, so it says coyotes have 19 subspecies, with 12 in North America, 7 in Central America. The largest coyotes live in southeastern part of the United States. Anyways, so this goes on for a bit. And this was from April 5th, 2022. This particular source, I don't know how credible the information is, but, I haven't clarified that aspect of it yet. Anyways, according to this article, the southeastern, which the northeastern coyotes would be in places like northern Indiana, most of Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, parts of Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, and eastern North Dakota. So, which would make sense, which is going to go into this other topic. See, before, my understanding of coyotes was they were more like a fox, but bigger, as opposed to more like a wolf. But within recent years, what we've been seeing, or based on what I've been reading, is that coyotes have been displaying behavior that resembles that more of wolves, such as taking on larger predators. See, before, typically coyotes would eat voles and field mice and rabbits and small game, typically comparable to like a fox, and then scavenge off wolf kills, which is kind of what they do in Yellowstone. But there are wolves there. See, wolves are a part of the ecosystem, and when you take wolves out of the picture, then the coyotes, they can just breed and expand, and their numbers can get higher. They don't have the apex predator in their environment to keep the coyote population under control. I read up on it some, and it makes sense. People first settled in and came there, they just killed all kinds of the major predators, wolves and cougars and bears. They just almost wiped out the wolf population entirely, and the grizzly bears, and a lot of the cougars too. But so what happens is it just allowed for the coyote population to just expand and grow, to create an imbalance. Well, in some places, where the wolves were still there, but they were lower numbers, they ended up breeding with coyotes. So you got like hybrids. So you got bigger variations or versions of coyotes in some places. They refer to them as a Coywolf, um, which may be why we're seeing in some areas coyotes behaving more like wolves because it's in their uh, genetics, and they're larger. So they can take on deer and a wild deer, a full-grown deer, a few of them, and kill a deer. Uh, and why they seem to eat whole deers overnight. I mean, they just, they're bigger coyotes, more aggressive, vicious coyotes. So, and there's some backlash against, excessive hunting of coyotes in some areas, but again, like I mentioned before, based on what I've been reading and learning, and there's more to learn, that, I mean, you can just kill all kinds of coyotes in the areas, but based on what experts are saying from like colleges, professors, that you're just not going to solve the coyote problem by hunting them. When you remove the wolf, their natural enemy of a coyote, out of their environment, you remove part of that ecosystem, element of that ecosystem, and there's just not enough people hunting coyotes, like that. So you're just not gonna. You might reduce their numbers for a season or two in an area, maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but within a few years they'll be back. And so if you've ever had to deal with pests or predators or animals like that affecting your livestock, then you understand, the problem. I mean, make no mistake about it. They might look cute and stuff, especially when they're pups, but I mean, they will kill you if they get a chance. They will kill your children. They will, They're like wolves. They're just not as big. But and one of the things that contribute to coyotes as being able to expand so much, and breed so fastly, is that they mature quickly, and they breed fast, and they just keep reproducing. So, yeah. So, and in places like in Wisconsin where you do have actual wolves, you may also have them breeding with coyotes too, because I mean, the wolves have been growing and expanding, and the coyotes are becoming a problem here. And Wisconsin is one of the places where there are just no bag limits. I mean, like, they have killing contests of coyotes, but in spite of all this, there's still coyotes just killing people's deer, eating their deer that they've killed. I mean, so I could see me as a deer hunter having to deal with a coyote problem. Life has just taught me that. So, we may have to, I've never hunted coyote like that before, so I'm going to have to speak with more experienced people, who hunt coyotes, and, become familiar with how to hunt them, where to find them, what tactics and strategies to use. Other things, and evaluating, just maybe get an assessment how many coyotes may be in the area and how many of them may need to be killed in order to bring that imbalance and problem under control, and for how long will that last, and other factors. But so I'm in the process of doing that. I try to be ethical about it, because like I said, I don't eat coyote. I'm not a big collector of furs or pelts or whatever. I don't, it might be okay to have one or two furs, but you got people killing a whole lot more than one or two coyotes. One guy this thing, he killed 70, like in a few days or something like that. But of course, he was trapping them. He's setting traps. He wasn't shooting them with no bow or anything. But so that's what I'm doing on this episode, talking about that on the ground. But yeah, I gotta go work here in a little bit, so I'm just going over some of this stuff. Yeah, and I've been looking at some trail cameras too, so I might get one here shortly. I kind of canceled my other order. I had to buy a part for my truck because I gotta get that up and going. But so we may need to deal with some coyotes. Kind of still early to determine just how bad. I know they're in the area. I have a feeling that they may be an issue, though. If I didn't think that'd be an issue, we wouldn't even be talking about this. But the chances of them being like a threat to a person, like being attacked, again, like I mentioned before, it may not be that high. But if there's enough of them, so I don't know how many's there yet. You gotta try to get them on camera and see how much sign I see. They may or may not be a threat to the environment where I'm hunting deer, since that's my main priority. The Lord knows. But so we'll have to look and see into that. So that's what I'm doing today. My office is a mess. They say if you have a clean desk, ain't much going on. So I got a lot going on. But yeah, so coyotes, we're gonna look into that. Can't say I have experience hunting them or trapping them or dealing with them too much. Not that it presents a great deal of a challenge, no more than hunting anything else. It may just approach it a little differently than deer hunting, but we'll see what we need to do, After seeing so many people's pictures and talking to so many people about wolves being a problem in parts of this state, Wisconsin, yeah, I mean, when you do a lot of scouting and trekking, and you put a lot of work into hunting deer and spend a lot of money and set time that you've worked for at your job for vacation, because I have to earn my vacation, PTO. For every 40 hours I work, I get 1 hour PTO. So I worked over 2 years at my job before I took an actual vacation. 2,800 work hours gave me 70 PTO hours. That was just for this last vacation. But I had to work 2,800 work hours to have 70 hours of PTO. They don't just give it to you. You have to work for it. So you got all this that goes into it, so that weighs down in it. And, and you set time apart from work to do this work, and then run into an issue like this and seeing the way they behave and so on. So this may be something we may need to address, and I might have to deal with. So we're gonna make a proper, sensible, ethical assessment, and we're gonna address any such issues or problems. I don't like just killing animals. I like animals. Even though I hunt deer, I still like to see them alive and living and thriving, but they are animals, and we do eat meat. I know some people might think, oh, that's bad, but yet at the same time, a lot of them same people will go to McDonald's and order a double cheeseburger or a Big Mac or chicken nuggets for the kids and stuff like that. You ever look on how them animals are killed and processed? Hunting deer may be a more ethical way of actually killing animals that you eat than some of their practices. But anyways, I'm pretty sure they kill a lot more domestic animals than we do deer annually. But the point is, yeah. So on this episode, I'm just kind of giving a update on the coyote situation. I know some of you recently I've just been at my desk and here in my apartment, but you know, I ain't been out nowhere. My vehicle's down. I gotta work and got limited time, and trying to get this channel going. So if you're interested in looking to see anything further that I post, and that any new developments and stuff like this pertain to coyotes, deer hunting, trail cameras, relocating, moving, all that stuff that I've been talking about recently, or anything that has to do with God, you know, I'm a sincere Christian. Yeah, so this is just an update on the coyotes. We're gonna try to determine what kind of problem we have with them, and what all we need as far as what kind of gear, what kind of approaches. Gotta make sure we're abiding by the law and all regulations. And then once we kill them, what are we gonna do with them? I don't eat them. What are we gonna do? Just skin them? Use a cake knife and just skin them? I mean, I don't know. We'll figure that all out. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get a trail camera or cameras here soon, and we'll do some unboxings, reviews, some test runs. I know there's an 8-point down at the archery range, and nobody's killed them because you can't hunt them. So maybe we'll see if we can't get him on camera testing one of them Browning cameras, Lord willing. But so that's going to conclude this episode. I gotta go to work, or I touch on some more topics. Yeah, coyotes, man, they can be a problem. So, you know, gotta try to do something about it if it's a real problem for us to actually deer hunt. You know, but since we might have to deal with this issue, we need to get this problem out of the way so that we can focus more on deer hunting. So that concludes it for this episode of On the Ground. Still waking up. My water cough. We'll see you next time here on the Ground. I'm Shannon.